Guys, welcome to the KFO show, Kayak Fishing Obsessed. If you love kayak fishing or just love fishing in general, or maybe you're here because we got Burley fishing with us tonight. Either way, welcome. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. I've already spent 15 minutes in the green room with Paul and Jeff, and it has been, I was already in tears before we got started. So this is going to be a good night. But to get us started, I just want to thank our sponsor, usrivermaps.com, for making this possible. If you guys look over my shoulder here, you see that state of Ohio, and you can't see it in detail, but if you go to his website, he has these for every state and all the watersheds. Like you're into kind of having, like, you just love water, want to be surrounded by it, both in fishing and just having it as the core. Check it out. Here is a code to get $35 off, good through the end of the year. So this is not going to work here in a week or two. So that's kind of our gift to you. Jeff, he's also a listener. He's on tonight. So if you have any questions about any of that, just go ahead and have a side conversation. If you have a question for me or the Burley Fishing guys, then please go ahead and write that in big letters, question there. And so I can start and come back to it later. I want this to be an interactive show. It's never really intended to just to be, hey, listen to us talk the entire time. We want to answer your questions. I have a bunch of questions. I spent an insane amount of time on their YouTube channel today. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's go ahead and welcome Paul.
Hi,
Jeff. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys know this, but about an hour ago, Chad Hoover called you guys out on his live stream.
Oh,
You have any clue about that?
well,
No, but now I'm nervous.
He texted me and he was like, "Go on my live," and I was like, "Okay." So I went on there for like 25 minutes, and then I had to put my kids down. So I must have missed. I don't know.
No, it was at like 45 minutes is when he actually said it.
Oh, then I missed it. What did he say? Was he talking trash? He's like, "Oh,
no, it wasn't trash. It was actually
don't ever watch these losers,"
which I respect,
which I agree with.
So he had an idea, and so what he wants to do is essentially, it's kind of neat. So around Veterans Day of next year, get a variety of YouTubers kind of together, those who've kind of seen success on the platform, run like 3-month tournament, like within our sphere of influence. And then whoever wins that tournament, top 3, comes with us and goes fish down in Huntsville with Chad against Team Chad, against Team Fluke Master, against Team Fishing with Gramps, against Team Wendell Fishing. And then he called you guys out.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys really want to lose that bad, sure, whatever.
Y'all are not ready for like tournament Jeff and Paul. Talk about rough Mountain Dew. we turn up the heat and it's full diesel, baby. Like, yeah, we don't mess around. Everybody's gonna.
Yeah, I think Sage Maximus got it right. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
he's got his crystal ball out, and this is what's going to happen.
It wasn't that hard.
I mean,
it really wasn't that hard.
It's pretty obvious
to lose. You guys like this? Whenever I hit the,
I turn it. Wait,
it throws here? All of our photos
right.
like.
It's really only bad for Jeff, so I don't care.
Yeah, I'm literally split into thrice pieces. This is swell.
Well, guys, I got to give some credit here. You guys just hit 30,000 subs. Tip of the hat to you. 7 million views. Now, granted, 3 million is one short.
Yep.
What is that about? Hey, I'm not saying it's bad. I say take what you got, right? When YouTube.
Which it was the short where Paul opens a bottle with a Rapala scale that stopped working. So I couldn't tell you why that blew up so much. I think it was partly people were like, don't drink with bottles on the water, even though we're in a borderline creek and we were at the shore and it was the end of the night. And we were like, we should film a video. This is like when we just got on TikTok. I think that was like our 7th or 8th TikTok. And then we put it on YouTube and it blew up. So yeah, that 3 million was nice. It definitely helped. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 other shorts in there that are upwards of, I don't know, 400,000 or 500,000. And then the rest of them are all, videos that our wonderful nerds watch, which is great. We appreciate them for it.
Yeah. I'm liking this. Is that what, I mean, this is your intro, right? That's what you call your people.
These are the nerds. Look
at
the
nerds, man.
I mean, it
came from, well, not only are we actually nerds, but it came from Debo. So Debo called us Ned Rig nerds because we always talk about the Ned Rig. So then we made the shirt, and then it just stuck forever. So now I feel like, honestly, if I'm gonna get a tattoo, that'd probably be the first one I'd get.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a term of endearment. We made this explanation before. I'll make it here real quick. There are two terms that we like really relegate people to. One is nerds, and that's our term of endearment. That means we love you. And then there's dorks, right? And dorks, less love for them, tend to be annoying and do silly things that aren't cool. So those are the dorks, right? So all our nerds, they come hang out with us. We're actually going live tomorrow doing a cancer fundraiser. So Paul's wife is actually running the Boston Marathon, and she's doing a really cool thing, raising a ton of money for cancer research. So we're going to be doing a all-star cast. So speaking of Fishing with Gramps, he's going to be on with us tomorrow. Speaking of Debo, he's going to be on there. Bass Geek has no voice, so he may or may not be there. And then we're going to have Fish Anything. Our good buddy Ethan Duvetter is going to be on there too. So we're just talking fishing and like nonsense. It's going to be just like a fun, hour and a half. And, for every, what did we say, Paul? Every $100 that we raise.
Oh, we did last time. Made me a little nervous, but I think, we probably could do that again. Every $100, we'll just do another giveaway on the show. It's how we kind of incentivize the gig.
Yeah. But didn't you guys were like, did I see a video where it's like 3K?
Yeah, $3K for Autism Anglers, who is on here right now. So
we had help though.
That was awesome.
We had a ton of help
from the same criminals that I was talking about.
I
the
will
usual
say,
suspects.
Dude, and I'm not. By the way, if any of them are listening, we're not asking them for anything. They're not. No, but
we got it this year.
Also, Rick from Monster Bass, who's the owner of Monster Bass, was on the show.
Gave some huge
and
stuff away.
He freaking laid it out. He gave away like a grizzly cooler, like full of baits. He gave away like he tried to give away some cannabis. That didn't work well. He tried literally like he's just grabbing. He's like, "Hey, want this? Sure, whatever." He's like, "Do a bunch of gift cards. Go." We were like, "Dude, what? I mean, it was awesome.
It was several kilos of CBD, and then some guy from Canada won it. And we were like, I don't think we can ship this to you.
I can't send you this.
And then my suggestion was that we inject a bunch of Lunker Hunt spiders with it.
Just kill the spiders.
That's the new bait scent that's going to take off here.
CBD year. Scent.
You've heard it first.
Bass dig it. They chill out. It's pretty cool.
Hey, what we got here? Rob Harrison. Hey, look at this. You're a pre-donation.
Rob's the man.
Dude, Rob is the man. I saw him here earlier. So is Tom. We see Scott. I mean, this is the Autism Anglers. They're here, dude. Like the best already here. And actually, Rob Harrison, he called it out. He said, Ethan is amazing. And hopefully he's talking about Ethan Duvetter.
Of course
because there's another really good kayak fisherman from Michigan. Lives up near the Grand Rapids area. Yep. And you want a dude who can fish? That dude's like a multi-species wizard. He just walks around catching giant fish. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk the marathons really quick.
Sure.
With your wife.
Yeah.
Boston. So that's not easy. They every year they keep. I used to be a long distance endurance runner.
Yeah.
Ran an insane amount of marathons. I'm retired now, but I understand that world. So they keep on bringing back the time. So less and less people can qualify.
Yes. It's very difficult. So she qualified a few years ago. But since she's had we've had 2 kids and pretty much back to back. So it's been kind of tough. So she's just getting back into it. And so this year she's actually running with a charity group. And so she's got a little bit of backing there. And so her original goal in running Boston was to raise $7,500. So she's already beaten that. So she bumped her goal up to 10,000.
Nice.
She's already at 8,700 last time I checked, 8,300 last time I checked. So we're going to see if we can. She's got till April. That's when they run the marathon. So
she's got time. She's got to make.
She got plenty of time. And she just started
15,000.
Yeah, she already started her training. And she is I think she's on pace for just before the marathon to finish. So she's getting down to it.
Sweet. I love it. I started a nonprofit back in 2008 called Active Water, which came alongside athletes to run marathons, whatever it is, for charities. So that's that used to be my world.
It's your world, man.
I know, right? So we're going to pivot. Amazing. We're going to pivot real there. I'm curious because I spent a lot of time. Why'd you guys start your YouTube channel? And at what moment did you meet? Because the early stuff, Paul, you're not in it, and that I know of. And it almost seems like a year ago, pop.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So I'll start with the reason we started the YouTube channel, because I knew Paul well before I started the YouTube channel. So I started the channel in 2019, I think. And it was mainly because I was like the weird guy at the company that I worked for that fished all the time and posted pictures of fish. And all these folks were like non-anglers, not associated with that at all. So they're like, why are you're always holding up fish? So I owned a CrossFit gym for 6.5 years, and I mentored gym owners for that period of time as well. And I went to the CrossFit Games, which was at the Alliant Energy Center in Wisconsin, Madison. And there's a little pond there behind the Alliant Energy Center. And I was like the only person at the games that was fishing. And so I fished. I was catching fish and took some pictures of it, posted whatever. And then like a couple of people that I worked with were like, into the social media scene, because we were helping gym owners like get a social media presence. And they were like, you should just do a fishing channel. Like, just do something you like. Just do it on, YouTube, whatever. And I was like, shut up. No, I'm not going to do that. And then I put it off for a couple months. And eventually I was like, well, why not? And literally in the first 2 videos, which you can't find because I deleted them.
Oh, come on. Come on, the cringe ones. I want to see them. Those are the best.
It's so painful. It's so hard.
They might be privated. I could unprivate that. I have the raw video. Like, I'll find a way to compilation this thing and put it out there. I promise I'll do that. But in the first couple ones, I'm like, yeah, so I'm starting a channel. Because like, what do you say on the first video? What do you even say? I don't even know. To this day, if I started a channel right now, I'd be like, what do I even say? I have no idea.
No, that's not
I'd be
true.
like, welcome to my channel. Anyway, so
be a normal human. Hey, welcome to Burley Fishing
for
channel.
all 4 people
that
that are watch it.
I am a
Like your
human
mom
man.
and a couple friends.
I'm a human man. I'm
I am
going
a
to
human
catch
man.
a fishing fish.
Yes,
Members
members
only
only
release.
release.
There you go.
Rob, that's a promise, Rob. That's going to happen. So yeah, so we did that. I started doing the videos. What really like kicked it off was unboxings. So I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. So I just started buying stuff because I didn't have that much fishing stuff at the time. So I was like, just basic level. So now I have too much stuff. I post videos where I'm like getting rid of stuff, and we're doing giveaways all the time and all that. But I was like, oh, I'll just post like what I'm getting and I'll talk about it. So I started doing that, and those got views. And then I got Monster Bass, and then I got Mystery Tackle Box, and then I was comparing them, and like that's what blew the whole thing up, right? And that was our massive growth the first 2 years. And then where Paul came in, I actually met Paul in 2007, 8. Right. Okay. We played rugby together at Michigan State University. So like I walked on the team. We were both transfers. So like we both walked onto the team like the same season, and then just started playing together. And then,
we lived like one floor apart too. So like our dorms were like, he was literally one floor above me, almost exactly.
We used to play Rock Band, to pregame for parties, and that was
with some rough monster,
with some rough monsters. So literally, it was like rough Sobe energy drinks because we would mix it with like vodka or something. Anyways, I digest. So we used to hang out and party and do all that stuff, and then we became really good friends. And then you become adults after you graduate college, blah blah blah. So we like drift back together. I don't know, 5 years later or whatever, we're back in Michigan because he had moved away to another state and came back as well. And I wanted to get back into fishing because I had fished when I was a kid. And I was like, I want to fish. You fish a lot because I'd seen that he was doing that. And then we started getting together and just fishing. And then ipso facto, a couple of years later, if you fast forward, I start the channel. And within, 6 months of that, barely, I was talking to him about it. It was like early on, I was talking to him about it. So he was like kind of on the sidelines. I always got the feeling he didn't want to be in the videos at all. Like at all.
True? Is that true?
100%. Don't lie.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah. No. And it wasn't. Yeah. And it wasn't from like I don't want to be in videos. Like I didn't have like
no.
No. I was just like,
I just want to fish.
I like the idea that I love to fish, but I just enjoyed talking with Jeff about it because it was fun to. It was like a business thing almost. Like not that it was a business, but I was
at the time.
At the time, I was talking with him like it was a small business that he was starting, and we'd be like, "Well, should we do this? Should we do that?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." No, yeah, do that, and it was just fun to talk about.
Yeah,
I didn't have any intent. I didn't have any intention of like being in videos. Right?
Like eventually, I basically forecasted. I was like, I'm gonna get burned out if I just do this by myself. I hate doing this by myself. It's more fun if I do this with my buddy. So then I was like, hey man, do you want to just be in some of these? And like, early on, we just went on trips together. I'd be the only one with the camera.
Right.
He'd be there. Right. And then eventually he's like, well, I'm gonna get a camera. And then he got a camera, and then we upgraded our cameras, and then he started like being heavily present in the fishing videos, and I was like, oh, do this unboxing with me, and then I was like, you want to review like some of the
I'll
stuff
never
you
forget my
have?
first unboxing. It was for Monster Bass, and it was horrendous. Horrendous. And it was also even worse. It was like the worst case scenario because it was an ice fishing box. It was so there's like 4 baits, and they're all the size of your fingernail. So it was like a very very difficult situation. I remember finishing, and Jeff was like, "That's it," and I was like, "Yeah." It was like 1 minute 12 seconds of audio, and I was like,
"Told you everything I knew." And
also, he if I remember right, he refilmed it 5 times. He just kept like, at least early on, he would like do the unboxing and be like, "I hate it," and
I'd watch it as I'm editing it. I'm like, "This is trash," and then I just go redo the
and I had to be like, "Look, man, like don't worry about it. Like what's done is done. Print it, cut it, print it, send it out. Like that's what we do.
Done. So, better than perfect.
It's kind of hard though. It's like, it's kind of difficult coming in late because, you know, Jeff has done it 30 times already, right? Has acumen.
True. Yeah.
And I'm like trying to do it for the first time, but trying not to suck. And so I'm like, what did I do poorly? And everything. Got it. And then you're at home like trying to do it by
all of it.
Well, and then like I didn't have a good place to do it either. Like the best place for me to film was like my basement, but that was a horrible place to film. The acoustics were god awful. The lighting was trash, and I had no way to edit it because I didn't have any tools. And so it was rough. Yeah, it was rough, and just like the regular meaning of the word rough, it was difficult.
Not rough do.
Yeah, not rough do.
But yeah, so like after that, you know, he just started being more present in the videos, and now. And we eventually got to a point where I was like, we're doing this together. We're 50-50 partners on this thing. So we are now. And
nice.
What we do now is we split the work. So like today, he came over today, actually. We filmed today a whole bunch of unboxings. Or not unboxings. We did
2020 baits you must have. 2022 baits you must have. Actually, it's a really good video. And then we did another one of like reviewing all the stuff that we unboxed. And we're like, I'll let you know what I think of it after I put some time on the water. We're doing that. So we're going all the way back. And like I grabbed all the stuff that's like, I really want to review this and give my opinion on this, that, and the other thing. And then we did all the stuff. So
yeah. So we basically split the week's work, right? We're like, you do Monday's video, I'll do Friday's video. And then we split the live. And by split the live, I mean I show up, he writes the show notes, and then I just sit back and relax.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gig.
It's a pretty good gig.
I'm just waiting for that guy to come along and be like,
oh, I'm sure it'll totally happen.
Where's my Paul at? I'm looking for him.
Well, see, you just have to like kind of like force them into it without them knowing that you're.
But then you have to put up with them.
You just you go fishing with them a whole bunch, and you're like, "Hey, be on camera. Say something about this bait." And then eventually, you just give them a GoPro, and you're like, "Wear this," and then press record, and then talk about stuff.
Yeah. Now go home and edit my video for me.
Yeah, and then
I like that.
Could you do Friday's video? Big favor, thanks. And then eventually, they're just partners.
Yep.
Magic.
So let's talk about subscription boxes really fast because there is a smorgasbord on your site.
Sure.
Not a bad thing. I think it's great. People want to know what's in those things and before they buy. And my first video, which is up, I didn't blacklist it, unlist it, or get rid of it.
I'll give it to my members.
Was an LTV, and it was awful. It was absolutely abysmal. It was cold outside. I wanted to do it outside because the lighting was no good anywhere inside.
Right.
And I still figuring out audio on this in light all the time.
We feel you.
So I'm outside and it's like 23 degrees. And I'm doing this video outside because that's the only place I can get good light on my GoPro. Yeah. I can't feel my fingers and it's awful. It is awful. I'm like, anyways, if you want to get a good laugh, go back and check that out. So you guys do them all. You get them all. So walk us through for those of us who are on my channel. I've had some questions about subscription boxes. I'm sure everyone has their opinion on it. It is fishing, but all the boxes you reviewed, look at them like from a brand. What are some pros and cons to each one? So
who do you want entry level, dude? Which one do you want? We'll take turns, Jeff.
We'll go back and forth. Paul, kick us off, and let's start out with.
Paul's my subscription box censor.
Oh, nice.
I have feelings about subscription.
Well, I think we all do. I'll go really, really, really fast. excuse me. And this is after, full transparency to anybody who doesn't know, we work with Monster Bass, right? So I'll do that first. The reason we work with Monster Bass is, one, because they reached out to us first. So that's where we got started. We had toyed with the idea of like leaving at different times. And really the reason we've stayed is because they've continued to make something that we feel like has a general offering that matches up with a lot of people that we would like to offer something like that too. So a subscription box is really great for somebody who wants to try new things, right? But doesn't necessarily know what to get, but just likes the idea of having like random stuff come to their house and be like, I've never heard of this. This is neat. Somebody who's buying a gift for somebody that wants to be like, I know you like fishing, but I don't know anything about fishing. So I've got $30. Here you go. You can have this. And it's like, oh, cool, fishing stuff. There's also the idea that, some people are trying to just fill their tackle box, right? To round out their tackle box. And I feel like that caters to the very new to the intermediate, right? Someone who's an expert or is an advanced angler doesn't need that. They can go buy their own stuff. They know what they like. They're trying things. It's probably not for you. And that's great, actually. I think that's fine. Monster Bass fills that void and that niche very well. If you look at what they've done with like the inserts, like the material they give you with the box, the guidebook, do a really good job with it. So we like that. And I think that even with the stuff that they're offering outside of that, so like the gear, they're starting to do rods. The rods are really nice. I was super skeptical when they first came out, and as everyone should be with a tackle box company making rods, but Rick actually did a really nice job. We got one of them and they're super nice. But that fit with us really well, and they treat their people pretty darn good. So we were really happy with them. 6 cents is a great box. I've gotten it for years at this point. And I think that's more for the advanced angler. I think that's more for somebody who doesn't mind getting the same thing over and over and over again, because I've gotten the same Crush 50 like every single friggin' time I've gotten it. I've got the same
Divine swim baits
3,000 different times. I've got, but they have great baits. I don't mind getting another Provoke. It's just a great bait. So they make really good stuff, but it gets old. And even monthly, like if that was a quarterly box, or it was a bigger box, even if it was the same price, I'd actually be more drawn to it, because it is like you do get the same thing every month. That's kind of like, okay, I don't need another, Crush 75, whatever, a silent this or that, the other thing, but they're great baits. And then I would say, honestly, Mystery Tech Box, I got that before I started doing any of this. And it was kind of cool. And I like the multi-species box and all that. But we used to do the head-to-head, like we'd fish head-to-head. We'd be like, I'll take this box, you take that box. We'll see who wins, whatever. Dude, the Mystery Tech Box, every time I'd be like, that's an L. That's a loss. Like you'd have both of them right in your hand. You'd be like, okay, if I had $30 and I could buy one of these, like I would always pretty much go to the Mystery Tack Box. And so, or I'd go for the Monster Bass. I would pass on the Mystery Tack Box. So, but they do a lot of the same great things that some of the other brands do. I think they, at different times of the year, they kind of fall somewhere in between. Every other brand is probably not worth it. They don't really have the polish. They can't really pull baits that make the value proposition anymore. The same way that the other kind of big three can. So like 6 Cents is doing it by making their own baits, which is great.
Which are great baits.
Monster Bass is doing it by partnering with big brands like Strike King. And they make the Z-Man, and they just get these exclusives, and they do a pretty good job of it. And then, Mystery Tech Box has their own brand as well, and they do some deals with some other companies. So they're somewhere in between, right? And they have Carl's Club and all that. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of that's just my Jeff. And I mean,
why the censor? Why is Paul your censor? I want to hear more.
I'm nicer. That.
He's nicer about it. I became jaded from doing the boxes. So like if you go over the first year and a half that we did the channel, that's like all we did. Like the claim to growth or fame or whatever you want to call it was doing the boxes. Right. The lack thereof. There are a few people that still like really do that and do the box comparisons. I think it fell off like a lot, honestly. I think like the 12 to 18 months I did it was like enough, and I shouldn't ever go back and do it anymore. So we don't do any more box comparisons, because it just got out of control with just random people like jumping on the scene and being like, I'm gonna do a box, and I'm gonna do a box, and and we reviewed them, like they're on our channel. There's a guy that sent me a box in a cigar box, like full of baits, and that was his gimmick.
Literally. Is there a cigar in there?
No.
because I was
That was
I'd
the
be
worst
in.
part about it.
I'd be in if that was the case.
Right?
That was the
So there's no
confusing
cigar.
part.
It was like all my baits smell like tobacco now, which was, maybe I guess good. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if that is a thing. Anyway, so I would get random things like that, and then we tried like Tackle Monkey and Warrior Tackle Supply, and we never got LTB. I was kind of way past that at that point.
They were done.
And yeah, they were pretty much done. And then we had, obviously MTB 6 Cents and Monster Bass and a whole bunch of other randoms that came up. And now like every brand is doing a box where they're just saying like, here is some stuff from us. So like you can get it from Big Bite Baits, you can get it from Hendrix, you can get it from where everybody's got a box and it's just their stuff, right?
Yep.
And some of it's
marketing their own stuff just in a package.
But I mean that's kind of cool too. I like that concept actually better for those brands because then you get the sampler, right? So I can get a sampler of Slick Bait Co's brands, right? I can be like, here, send me your best stuff that you guys like, that your best sellers in a box. That sounds great. So there's those. But early on when we were doing the comparisons, all these brands, they seem to latch on to novelty, right? So I literally would get like toys in the toy, not bait, toys. What? There was a brand that sent us Halloween toys. Like I got a little toy skull. And I was like, I don't want this. Like, this is not why I get this box. And then another brand sent me stuff that they told me in an email that they had left over. They're like, oh, our owner had 1 million of these in the warehouse and they just want to dump them. And it was like rod straps. It was like to strap 2 rods together. And I was like, I guess cool, whatever. So there's random stuff like that you would get. And that like started being ick for me. And then some brands got mad when I gave them a negative review. Like that. So when I say my censor is Paul had to like step in so that I didn't get in trouble anymore. Cause I literally got a letter from one of these brands who was like, you can't say stuff like that because you have a platform now. Right. So it's like, well, that's not real. Like people are allowed to leave negative reviews. That's called reality.
It was a very convoluted situation. They came to us and they tried to pretend sue us. And we were like, you can't pretend sue me for giving my opinion.
So I pretend took the video down and it's still up if you want to watch it. But at any rate,
I want to watch it.
Well, it's up there. It's I think I just call it Tackle Supply. So you fill in the blanks. But a review for 3 months of their boxes on my channel. It still exists. And they still exist too. So I mean, it's just it got to a point where I was like, these boxes are too much. So then when you look at it, if you zoom out on all the subscription boxes, there really are only 3. There's only 3. Like, look at any other ones you want. They don't exist. They're not real. Like, they're there. You can buy them if you want to. Trust me, they're not worth it.
Just wasting your money.
3 brands. So you look at Monster Bass, MTB, and 6 Cents. Like, those are the only 3 that are doing it and doing it well enough that I would consider anybody, it'd be worthwhile for anybody to invest into it. And the reason we stuck with MB was because through all these reviews, we were honest and authentic in our opinions of them, and we fished them. And I wouldn't be fishing them if I didn't want to. Like, that's the thing. Like, we don't sign with brands that we don't want to work with. We don't use products we don't want to use. Like, I'm not going to promote it if I don't want to use it. And consistently, just month over month, they were the most consistent where I was like, I'm happy with this. Like, yes, there are definitely baits where I'm like, I already got this, or I got this 3 or 4 times.
This is a repeat bait. This bait. I don't like this.
I don't like this. It can be annoying.
But again, you zoom out and you're like,
as a whole,
if I was a beginner or intermediate angler, or if I was just a customer, would I rather have $30 come in the box, or rather have $45, $50 worth of baits? And am I getting the value? Like, we were doing we were actually going through the baits you must have for the year, whatever video we were just making. I was like, totally didn't think about it. I was like, got this. I think 5 of the baits came in a Monster Bass box
that I hadn't owned prior to that.
Yeah.
So
and are now like on my. I was like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. And that was. I remember going through and be like, that is surprising.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, through the consistency and then through the fact that like Rick himself is front and center with all of it, and Gramps just brought it up, like they take your feedback, they actually improve the offering. Like Rick is the one in the videos doing the, unboxings. And then like, if you don't like something, you tell Rick, he does something about it. Like you don't get that even from the other 2 of the big 3. You don't get that. And you don't get that from any of the other ones, which is why I was like, I don't want to review any of these other ones anymore. Let's just like get MB and enjoy MB, and like let's change, you know, the way that we do this. And that's really how things evolve. So you can
that
see
was the
like
hardest part.
That cut off. Yeah, at first we were like, we're a one-trick pony and you can't not do this. and we had to stop, you know, doing the box reviews and comparisons because it was just old for us. And we're like, what else do we do?
We made business decisions to change the format of our content. We do that all the time and reevaluate how
every year.
Yeah, well, it's really every 6 months. We're kind of looking if we're sensing that something's changing with like Instagram. Like I started making TikToks and then moving them over to Instagram and then moving them over to YouTube. And then all of a sudden it was like, that was a business model change that we like intentionally made as we were running, like you would do if you were running a business. We saw that things were changing, we changed, and we're still doing that. We're talking about like, you know, Instagram's changing what they're looking for, and people are. That means they're picking up on what people are looking for. So I'm like, okay, something's changing. We're not as successful as we want to be. We want to continue to do a good job, but we have to do it our way. So then it becomes this balancing act of how do I keep making content that I like to make, but that also fits the mold for what people are looking for. And you essentially have to redo that equation like every 6 months to remain relevant. Otherwise, you end up irrelevant, which is not good.
No, I mean, you could see it in you quickly know. YouTube will let you know real quick.
Just if you're doing that banging, man. So yeah, I mean, boxes was a big part of the channel, not so much anymore. Which
that brings the next question. What give us what are we supposed to expect from Burley Fishing in 2023?
Can we tell them about the
Do you want to tell them that we're changing the channel into a cooking channel?
Well, we were going to do cooking and weightlifting only. That would actually be pretty fun. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the questions that I think I'm going to bring up on our show tomorrow. Like if you had to do if you had to do a YouTube channel from scratch on something other than fishing, what would you do?
That'll be fun with the guys. Yeah. So, all right. So no, that's not what we're doing for 2023, but sorry, bud. So yeah, for 23,
can we tell them about what we've been working on for last month?
Sure. Go ahead, man.
Rick?
Can we? All right. So
fine. You heard it here first.
So what we're working on with Rick right now is we're going kind of all in with MB. I won't explain what MB's plans are because that's up to Rick. So as far as we are concerned with MB, we're going to be like a major partner with them. We already kind of are. We're just like, hey, setting this in stone, right? And Rick's been great to us. He supported us the entire time we've been growing as a channel. So we really do appreciate Monster Bass a lot. And now that Rick is doing rods, this came up on his live. He was like jokingly throwing stuff out there. And we were like jokingly throwing stuff back. We were like, hey, you should have an ultralight rod because you don't. And
I wasn't joking.
Like, no, I mean, well, we were, you know what I mean? Like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You should have an ultralight rod. So he goes, okay, what would it be? And then we started tossing ideas at him on the live on Monster Bass channel, and then he tossed it back. And eventually this turned into we're making an ultralight rod. So there will be a Burley Fishing ultralight rod from Monster Bass.
Nice.
We are currently building it, and it may or may not be. Should I tell him the color? No? Is that too secret?
Yeah. Well, okay. We're 90% sure we're going to be able to do this.
I think we could pull off the fact that it may be colored chartreuse and purple.
Yeah.
Purple with chartreuse accents is the goal that we're going for.
All right.
So it's going to be like the most outlandish ultralight rod you've ever seen on purpose. And
sounds
it's
about right.
Freaking smoke a bunch of panfish is what it's going to do.
And if you guys don't know, and if you guys don't know, whoever's listening, like this may sound like it's out of left field. It's not for us. So the last 2 years, we've been heavily leaning on ultralight setups. As thank you for that, Ethan Do Better, the guy we were talking about earlier from Fish Anything. He really put us on the ultralight game, and it changed the way that we fish. I can carry 6 rods very comfortably in my boat, standard, and now one of them, period, the end, all time, is an ultralight rod. Actually, like if you took like the top 10 largest smallmouth that I've caught, probably 4 of the top 10 were on ultralight.
That live show, by the way, that was a great live show.
It was super fun.
He geeked out on it. I was just glued in.
He's a master. And I'll tell you, like, it's become it's become a lot more of a trademark than I think we probably thought it would, of the way that we fish and some of our content. Like there are a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, we probably should be filming like this bait or this video or this thing because that's what we're supposed to be doing. But I'm like, I'm gonna go wet wade the river with an ultralight again, and I'm just gonna go do that.
It made it really hard for us to transition to doing some glide baits. It took until the end of the year. Like essentially, I had all these glide baits. I was supposed to go glide bait fishing and do swim bait fishing, soft and hard swim baits, and just kept putting it off because ultralight's just more fun. Was more fun. I now thoroughly enjoy glide bait and swim bait fishing, and you know, I will be doing a lot more of that. Will there be an MB swim bait rod? I don't know. Maybe we can pull that one off too, Paul. Like we can push that.
But like the part of it too, though, is like when someone said, if someone were to approach me, which they did, and we're like, hey, you can design a rod. What would you design? It's not a question. The only one that right now I feel like I could make better than most people would be an ultralight rod. I know exactly what I want. It took me all of 15 minutes to write down all of the specs on that rod and get them over to Rick and make a couple adjustments and then on the fly.
I did a 5-minute comparison, pricing and builds of all the other ultralights that we want to be in competition with. So we have like the list of like, we want to compete with these guys. We want it at this price point. We want these materials, and then we want these features on it. So we've already done all that. We shot it out to their guy, and we'll go from there. And I mean, like, other than that, it's going to be like the sexiest looking ultralight rod you ever gosh dang saw. So there's that. That's going to be like probably our biggest thing, I would say, in 2023, the thing that we'll be most proud of, which is cool. Like we did a little crossover with Missile Baits this year. We got a chance to be one of the few with MB Missile Baits where we got a custom color of the baby D-bomb. Yeah, nice. So that was cool. So I'd say like more of that type of thing is what we're going to be aiming for, as well as maybe leaning into, and Paul and I have been talking about this, but working towards a kayak partnership, I would say, and he didn't even hear me with his headphones off. We're working towards a kayak partnership as well, which could be huge for us in 23 too, because we want to do more river fishing. There it is. That is the Burley's Candy Baby D-bomb, which is
there it is, Gramps. Oh, look, he's got like a green 20 pack. 20 packs. Holy cow.
So the magic of this thing, though, is the chartreuse and the copper flake. Like, I don't care what anybody says. That color combo bangs, and it definitely bangs in the Midwest, maybe everywhere.
So this one has green, copper, and red with the black flake. And I'm telling you, that's like, it's great for the river. The chartreuse and copper flake is great for the river. But the nice thing about this one is, like, with the green pumpkin and the chartreuse, anything stained to clear water, which is what we fish, that the Christmas tree is like that effect for, I don't know why, it kills it. It just kills it.
It's the razzle dazzle.
So good.
So yeah, we've had a lot of luck on that. So yeah, I would say collaborations, you know, with Chad Hoover, he reached out to us a couple months ago. We've been talking since then. I can see us collabing in the future. Obviously, he called us out tonight, so I guess I got to go back and watch that part and really.
Tournament, we got to go lose.
What am I in for?
We'll be fishing against each other in Veterans Day.
We'll lose, but we'll lose with style.
You won't.
We'll have a lot of fun doing it.
We have the most fun, win or lose. I mean, we might even just surprise everyone, but yeah, like you never know. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
what I love about your guys' channel, I mean, I'm watching your videos today. I've been watching them. I mean, I've seen them for forever. Like you have fun. Like, I even say we're not going to do it if we're not going to have fun. It's like tip my hat.
That's our number one rule. That's our number one rule. Paul and I always say is like, oh, we got to go out and film this content. Well, we have to shift that mindset right off the bat. We get to go out and film this content. And then we always put our heads together. We're like, how are we going to have fun filming this content? We're like, oh, the wind is 20 miles an hour. It is 24 degrees outside. So we're like, okay, step 1, layer up. Step 2, pack extra snacks. Step 3, make sure we have enough beverages to stay hydrated, and maybe warm beverages to stay warm. And then, you know, step 4, like, let's fish fun. Let's do something fun. And if it's not fun, then we pull our boats together and we like strap them together. We sit down and we'll like film TikToks because it makes us laugh. Or we'll like just try to spin the video, or we'll just it will snack. It's boat snacks time, right?
Yeah.
So we always find a way to make that fun. And then we go on. We've had the pleasure of going on a few trips with like the whole Monster Bass team, and whenever we're on those, like, I don't know, Paul, we seem to have the most fun out of anybody.
It is our
because
brand,
it's
and it's
what we do.
One of the things we talked about. One of the things we talked about, because we have gone through periods of burnout, where we've had to make changes, and that was like we stopped filming videos that we don't like to make. Period. And we
we're like, this sucks.
We
Let's
stopped making types. There
anymore.
are some videos that it's kind of unavoidable, but once we start filming, that's where having two people do it, where we enjoy being with each other, and we enjoy filming. We both like making like I look forward to filming TikToks by myself in this office between the hours of 10 o'clock and 1 a.m. I will be laughing with tears running down my face at my own jokes. That's fine.
Your wife thinks you're insane.
Yeah, everyone knows I'm insane. It's not a question.
It's true.
But like I, in my own insane brain, am enjoying myself. So like I'm good. It's not a problem, which is why I'm okay doing it. If it wasn't fun, I would either change the way I'm doing it or I'd stop doing it. And that's what we've done that. We've made changes intentionally to just make sure that we're both enjoying ourselves, and it's a lot less work. And we're, as long as we can maintain the balance of family, work, and fun, like we're good to go. And that's the biggest thing that drove for us, which is the biggest change for this year, I think, by far. Made a conscious decision to like, I don't need to be the best angler in the room. That's the farthest thing that I do. I will gladly lose every tournament whenever I'm sitting up on, a video with 10 other dudes. Fish. I'll be the worst. Don't care. But no one is going to have as much fun as me. Period. That's just it. And I'm cool with that. And I'm like, if that's my lane, like, I don't care. Sounds great. Like, I'll be fine. And so, that like, the aggressively average angler, that's the perspective that's coming from. Yes, I want to get better. I want to be good, but like, I'm not going to get stressed about it. I'm going to enjoy myself.
The point of the AAA though, the aggressively average angler, is that you get on fish no matter where you go. So I can guarantee you, Paul and I can hit any body of water and we will catch fish.
Yeah.
Will we catch the biggest fish or will we catch the most fish? It actually doesn't matter. Sometimes, sure. Most of the time, though, it's just that we're going to catch fish. So I know I can go anywhere and catch fish. Anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, I can catch fish. And I'm just going to get better and better at doing that thing. And that's part of how we have that much fun. So it's really, that's what the AAA was born of. That's what it's about, is just getting better at being able to get on them. Whether you catch the biggest or the most is irrelevant. Whether you have the most fun is what actually matters. So that's what we go after the most. So yeah, that was like a big point of contention with us early on, and we just totally shifted it. And the pressure's off, man. The pressure's off now, which is what makes it so cool. And part of the pressure being off too is we used to do 3 videos a week. Yeah. And then we realized like you don't even have to do that. Like you don't. So if anybody's like starting a channel, you don't have to do 3, 4, 5 videos a week. Like, and please don't, because you're going to get so burned out doing it. And I did get burned out. I took a month and a half off, and we took a while off of the live, and I'll never do that again because now I'm at such a happy pace with this. So we just shifted. We're like, let's just do 2 a week, Monday, Friday. And it's not that, even if we don't have content, Paul came over today. We filmed 2 videos for the next 2 weeks. So like,
we filmed 3.
3, yeah. Because we redid an intro. So you guys are gonna on our channel, you're gonna see a video we filmed in October that didn't have an intro. So we refilmed. It
does now.
Whatever, that's
magic.
How it works.
Yeah, you're gonna have like a beard, and then 3 seconds later, you're not gonna have a beard from earlier.
That's exactly right.
In the season. Yeah,
that is
4 videos because you got to resurrect the one from your first 2.
Yeah,
and bring that out from the
members. Depths. Members are gonna get like that
2 weeks.
That early one.
Members drops, man.
I can appreciate in the live show that I was just on. I wasn't on it. I was listening in with Chad. He was like, just getting so wrapped up with like listening to the top 10% who are like elite. How can we make these tournaments more elite? And he was like, you know what? The majority of the guys watching are don't even care. About being number one. Yeah. They want the community. Yeah. They want to just hang out and they want to talk bass fishing. They don't need to They don't need to catch the biggest, the most, or any at all. Really, sometimes that's just the background music to the community that they want to be a part of. And And I've had people ask, like, why'd you start the live show? I was completely honest with you. It wasn't for the views and it wasn't for watch time. Like, I just wanted to make some friends, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like someone who understands not only fishing, but also understands the YouTube like part of it. Like, and so the idea of what Chad is proposing, where we all kind of get together and just go fish, like we're all joking that we're gonna come in last because it's actually true, but in the same breath, we're not going to care because we're just I just don't I'm just excited to be a part of the party. To be honest with you.
100%, man.
So I would say 90% of guys and girls out there, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, I just want to be the bad news bears at these tournaments, man. I just like show up, have fun, and just like rage and enjoy myself. That's what I do best.
I like it. So I want to talk a little bit because I asked you guys. I usually ask the question. Oh my goodness, we're at 15 minutes already. That flies by.
Crushing it.
So intro. I don't ultralight fish. I have one ultralight rod that I basically just kind of I use for bluegill fishing, but I'm not like really into it.
Yeah.
So newbie to ultralight, what would be that introductory wisdom from you? What am I getting outside of your purple rod that you guys are making?
Well, obviously, you got to get the burley fishing rod.
Yeah.
There's no other rod that exists. No, I mean, like we got a starter kit that we've been recommending for a long time. And right now it's the 13 Fishing Defy Silver, which is $50 or less. It's a spinning combo. And we like it in the sub 6 foot range, but that is because we like to wade rivers. So that's a 5.6 right there. Ultralight, obviously. So when you go to the power of the rod, just pick ultralight. And then, the 13 Fishing Defy Silver is just like a really good economy rod. Like it just does really well. It's pretty darn durable. It's got a really comfortable grip.
The reason it's only $15 is you're looking at a lower quality carbon blank, right? So that's what I said, 50. So the reason you're looking at a lower quality blank, right? And but the nice thing about it is it actually is a little bit stiffer than some of the other rods that are out there. And a lot of what we do is like jig fishing. And so when you're running an ultralight jig like this one, having some of these maybe a little bit extra fast helps you with hook set, and it helps you with bite detection. So you're dealing with basically an oversized ice fishing combo. This one is 5.5, which is like Jeff said, 5 foot 5, 6 is probably the target range, especially if you're new. But it really depends on how you like to fish. So if you're a true bluegill lover, you probably need a 6 foot, you need an 8 foot, and you might even need a 12 foot, right? Depending on how you like to fish. But if you need something that's a general do-it-all for the money, you can't do better than the 13 Fishing Defy Silver. It's just there's nothing that's that inexpensive. Yeah. But there's a ton of good rods out there, but that's one that I know that I can recommend for you. The only place that it's going to struggle a little bit is with truly ultralight hard baits. So it's going to be okay, but you might lose some of those really big crappie because they'll get some leverage on a rod that's not soft enough, just like a crankbait rod. It's the same mechanics, just on a different scale. But other than that, I run crankbaits with that thing all the time. And for $50, like
it's absurd. So, on that, what we do, you pair it up with like a 500 size reel. So go for a downsized reel. In this case, you have I think a 1,000 size reel on
this. I like the 1,000 size personally. This is the Cymar, the Okuma Cymar. This is the best value reel that I can offer you, period. I mean, really, I don't know if it gets any better.
Amazing.
This one does have a bait feeder system on it. You don't need it for $50 though. You could be running this combo for $100. In and out, like out the door.
If you're drifting on the river, if you're ice fishing, if you're cat fishing, bait feeders are great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just get the regular one, and the Cymar comes in a 500 size or an 1,000 size. So I'd recommend either of those. So that's the $100 combo that we've been loving and promoting the most. And then obviously we promote mule fishing. Because you can get ultralight jigs from them that are amazing and super affordable, as well as hyper durable plastics. So those are the soft, plush, stretchy plastics like Z-Man, but from mule fishing. And if you want to just have a good time, if you have a stretch of river or a small section of water, that you got panfish popping, maybe you got some crappie going on, then you can grab either what he's got right there, which is the mule minnow. which is just like a flat piece of plastic like that. I like to drop shot that a lot, but you can throw that on a jig, or you get the donkey tail, which is a short paddle tail. Comes in 2 different sizes. I prefer the donkey tail junior, which is ultra small, or another one that he has, which is called the horsefly, which is like, think a little creature bait. It's got 2 little legs on it, right? And then you throw that on think about how light this is for most of you guys who are fishing conventional, a 1/32 ounce or lighter jig head. So it's a pretty light jig. Do the 132. I also do the 164 ounce. Yep. And basically you're just literally, if you see a cloud of bluegill, you guys have seen bluegill beds, you've seen them hitting on top. If you see that and you're fishing from the bank, just flip that jig out there and let it like slowly fall. Or if you have the donkey tail junior, it's a paddle tail. So I like to get
that's the donkey tail in Dakota.
That's the regular size. So
and then I've got the little one right here. So the little one is 1.6 inches. The larger one is, I think, 2.8. So here's the junior, and you can put this all the way down to like a 180.
Yeah, nice. So a little tiny paddle tail, bomb it out there,
but
retrieve it back. That's it.
Stupid.
Yeah, and that's great because you get short struck a lot, so they're not going to just rip the tails off. If you get regular plastisol baits and little, baby ones, maybe like a Euro tackle or something, like you're going to lose those tails.
And they're going to get waterlogged if they're Z-Man.
Yeah,
Z-Man has a lot more salt in them. There's nothing like that in there. So these don't get waterlogged at all. I have some of the same packs from 2 years ago when I first started fishing mule plastics, and I haven't knocked out all the baits yet. So this is Ethan Duvetter's company. This is Fish Anything. This is his company, Mule Fishing. The dude's a wizard, and he makes some really, really great baits. And you know what the nice thing about it is, like this is that same. We told ourselves a long time ago we're not gonna work with plastics companies. It's not gonna happen. It makes no sense for us.
And here we are.
You just can't make enough money, and you have to turn away too many people. And it means that I can't give people honest opinions because I now have to cater to a plastics company, right? But here we are, and honestly, you for $4.50 you can get a bag of plastics that will last you 1 to 2 years.
Jeez,
that you will catch hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating, with hundreds of fish on. The jigs are like $3 for a 3-pack or 4-pack, and it's like,
I don't think Ethan has sent us any plastics in a year.
No, he sent me 2 boxes. That's it. That's it. It's not, and I mean, again,
and I'm not out.
that's why the company's called Mule Fishing. We've had him on our show. You guys can go look him up. You should have him on your show. He's a wonderful human being. But like he's called Mule Fishing because it's like your grandfather's
workhorse,
right? It's a workhorse. It's literally like not expensive. It's gonna be there every single day catching fish for you, and it's always gonna work. That's it. I mean, that's the value proposition. It's awesome.
I wanna give the tip too if you guys want to get into it. Black and white soft plastics. Yeah. There's a silver with black flake. It's called Karma that you could pick up. There's a solid black and there's a solid white. So you can have all 3 of those colors or variations. We personally love to do the black mule fishing donkey tail paired with a chartreuse jig head. We call it the Batman. And then there's the white. That's my favorite drop shot color.
There's the Karma. White. That's like the salt and pepper.
Yep. So salt and pepper, as you can imagine, which is great.
These are all 2 years old. Is what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, these are all old. Yeah, these are all. They've probably all been fished too.
How's the dude make money?
These are my mix packs.
Look, I never have to replace soft plastics.
We talked to him about it.
I mean, literally, but he's not here to make $1 off you. Yeah. The dude is literally out here
to catch fish.
It's it. And I'll tell you right now, that mule minnow, the long skinny one, the first one I showed, it is it's probably top 3 drop shot bait in my little bank of drop shot. It is murderous on a jig. It's stupid. It's like I've caught everything in Lake St. Clair. I've caught almost every species that I've ever caught in Lake St. Clair on the same the literal same piece one of plastic,
not type.
I'm talking freshwater drum all the way to gar. Like it's stupid. It's not fair. I went on a jet ski in 45 minutes. I caught like 5 different species of fish.
Yeah,
with the same, never changed anything.
So I do want to point this out because you mentioned, hey, I'm new to ultralight. I'm getting ultralight. What do I do? So if you get into it, the first thing I would say is like go to the bank at your local body of water. I don't care where it is. Have the donkey tail or the donkey tail junior on a light jig on your new ultralight setup and just cast it out and retrieve. And what I do is I will take my kids to, I live between like two private lakes, right? But it doesn't matter, like whatever lake you're on. And there's just little baby lakes. So I go out on my baby lake. There's a little tiny sand section for the beach. My kids go swimming. I'm there watching them. They're old enough. Don't worry about it. They're 7 and 9. So they're here. I'm near them. And I'm just literally off to the side of the swimming area, just throwing a mule ultralight jig with the donkey tail junior. It's my preferred. And I'm just retrieving and I'm just catching panfish after panfish. So if you want to get into it, that's my recommendation. Just go to the bank and just knock them out. You're going to have a good time.
And then when you catch your first 2-pound bass on an ultralight,
it just folds over. It's so fun. It's so fun.
It's so hard to walk away.
Yeah.
I caught a 5-pound smallmouth on an ultralight with my 2-year-old in between my legs in my kayak.
Yeah.
Oh, the pandemonium. Everyone's emotions were like, the fishes was like, what is happening?
I'm hooked.
My child was like, bah! And then I was even louder. Okay. The kayak was freaking out. It was pandemonium, but it was the best, like 15, to 30 seconds ever. It was so amazing.
That's awesome. I love it. Hey, Low Life. Thank you. Thanks, you guys, for diving into that question for him. Hey, you know what? I might just have to wait. When does your rod come online? When's it supposed to come online?
TBD. We're hoping it's going to be. We're hoping spring.
Well, yeah.
I'm hoping by the time I need my ultralight back.
Yeah.
That's like literally the only rod that I'm going to be fishing.
Yeah. I have been inspired because
just wait. Get Ethan on here. Ethan will blow your mind. You'll be addicted.
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna have to do that. Hey guys, I got some questions for you. I do something every show, the lightning round. And so I want you to answer with one or two word answers.
We're bad at that, but okay.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
You guys like to have fun. Here we go. Jeff, what does Paul do that drives you crazy?
Well, everything. Is that an answer?
It is. Paul, what does Jeff do that drives you crazy?
Do I have to go first, or is Jeff going first? That's my only question.
It's lightning round.
I know what it is. I'm already ready. Jeff will pull up to a spot. We'll see fish there, and he will leave.
This is not all right. All right. No, I take back my answer. Paul will see that I am crushing it. I am catching fish. Paul will be upset, and he will refuse to change lures to what I am doing, which
100%.
Is perfect for the situation. It is working, and he will not do it.
100%.
And then he'll just be grumpy. So
I'm not that grumpy, though. My grumpy is like, it's not too bad.
Says him.
There's only two of us.
I need to find
you're wrong.
This whole dynamic makes me really
punching
want
your friend in the face. That's not as good as you think.
We fight all the time. Literally, it
sounds amazing.
On camera sometimes, mostly off camera.
Because I'm doing all this stuff by myself, so at least I can argue with someone. All right, question. Question number 3, Jeff. Worst video you have ever created?
Oh, I already mentioned it on this episode. It's the first two. The first unboxing and the first fishing video I did were absolutely awful. And eventually, members, you're going to see them.
All right. Paul, I haven't heard yours.
By the numbers, it's my jet ski video, which makes no sense because that video was a freaking blast.
He was so mad about that.
I was mad because you know what? What? That was actually I hit 5 species. I had 5 species in like 30 minutes on a jet ski.
So you got
good luck. Good luck,
great
everybody
fishing
else.
Day. Nobody wanted to watch it.
No one cared. Could not have cared. Also, the thumbnail was very like Top Gun. I was like, this thing bangs. And no, it did not. It had like 200 views in 17 months. It was a rip. So mad.
Don't you hate that? Well, you have a banger. And you're like, okay, I got the title dialed in.
Yeah.
All the things
None of it mattered. No one could have cared less.
Thumbnail's cool. Caught all the fish.
Top Gun.
The only people who saw that video are Russian bots.
The Russian bots really like Paul. I could say that.
They love me a lot.
I don't get half as many Russian bot like friend invites or chat invites as
they
Paul.
love me. I have some guy named Devin with 7 pictures of a woman in Halloween costumes. That's who friended me today. And a dog. Hi, Devin.
I like it.
Weird.
Shout outs to Devin.
Shout out to Rob Harrison, who loved the jet ski video. I don't know if you're lying or not, but I'm going to take it. Thank you,
He's
sir.
not lying. That's right.
I know.
I actually saw it, and I was like, oh, that looks very interesting.
It was sweet.
Someone else probably should watch that. I just moved on. I just didn't. I was like, it looks awesome.
Looks cool. Never watching that.
Sick burn.
It just wasn't. This wasn't clickable. I don't know. I
didn't come here to get ridiculed. Okay.
Later.
Now I have better video ideas. It's
so brutal.
No, we've all had them, but you know, sorry,
that was bad.
I didn't even. I need to go. I'm gonna go watch it now. I'm sure your watch time's gonna go up 5 minutes.
Still checking the watch count. It's like 5:01. I'm looking for 5:02.
You lied.
Oh, all right. Paul, favorite fishing YouTube channel?
I'm not the person to ask. I don't watch YouTube.
Oh,
what?
I seriously, I don't watch.
You know what? I understand. Like, I know I don't usually watch it because I don't want to be imitators of anybody else.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I don't want to be influenced in that way.
Yeah.
Outside, the most YouTube I've ever watched was because I'm like have guys like you on, and I go in your like, oh wow.
If I had to pick one, if I had to pick one lately, it's probably Milliken. I think that dude is been on the most unbelievable tear of bait creating / fish catching that I've seen. And I couldn't do that in the Cabela's pond. Dude is a freaking monster.
Those aren't in the Cabela's pond. You mean if they were the building?
Yes, in the building. Yeah.
His catches are bigger than the ones in the building.
It is unreal. Yeah. But I have not watched a single video of his. I read a lot of the stuff that he writes, and I follow. But I'm just YouTube for me is the Matrix. I just need to learn how to do drywall and stuff like that. That's all I use YouTube for. That's it.
100%.
So you're the same?
YouTube's weird for me too. I don't watch anybody fishing on YouTube. I do not like fishing channels on YouTube. I will not watch them. Period. So maybe that's the weird part. I mostly watch YouTube. Okay, so my favorite YouTube channel easily is What Culture Horror. And What Culture does like top 10s, for it's movie stuff basically. And I like scary movies. I like horror movies. Okay. And What Culture Horror will just do a top 10 countdown of like best horror movie kills or whatever. So I'm weird. That's what I'm into. I like that. Or I might watch like video game stuff. So that's pretty much all I use YouTube for. If you go to my channels that I actually subscribe to, like that's it. And then my friends. So like fishing wise, only my friends that have fishing YouTube
Debo,
channels.
Gramps, Fish Anything, the dudes. But like, I don't mean to be rude, but like if I watch one of their videos, I watch like the main parts and I'm out. I don't watch anybody's. It's bad.
Yeah. Or if Chad texts me randomly and he's like, watch my live. Yeah. Because apparently he's going to call us out.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'll go on and watch it. I'll be honest. When he texted me, I went to the Chad Hoover channel and I was like, there's no live here. What are you talking about? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, KBF. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll go there.
Yes. Well, we're over time. I do got another question for you. If you have a question, Paul, Jeff, throw it in the comment section. It'll be one of the ones we go out on. So kayak fishing assessed, you kind of dangled out there. A partnership. I'm not going to ask you what that is, but you have Hobies now, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tell me your setup. Have you always had Hobies? Let's do a medium dive into kayaks.
Sure.
This out.
The medium dive.
Yeah, we're not going to deep dive.
I'll go the medium. So I started with an aluminum John boat. I sold it because I didn't want to deal with the battery, the backing up, like all the crap. So I sold that. And I bought 2 kayaks. Yep. I bought a fishing kayak for my wife to sit on top, like a $500 decent kayak. And then I bought for myself a Predator MX from Old Town, which is meant for river fishing, which is how I like to fish the most. That's what got me into kayak fishing, and I absolutely loved it. And then Jeff was in a different boat. He'll go through his whole trajectory, but he was going to upgrade past what he currently had. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to spend $500 or $1,000, I'm okay with going. I'm okay with going way up if I know that I would want that eventually, and I'm cool with it. That's not a problem for me because like I'd rather do that than waste $7,000 by upgrading later anyway. So I knew what I wanted. I had been in a decent enough boat for long enough that I was like, I'm justified doing this. I'm doing it. So I bought the Hobie 360, and I haven't looked back. It's a wonderful, wonderful drive. It's hard. It's really hard to beat in almost every situation. We upgraded the Garmin Live Scope this year. I had a Lowrance unit that I despised. Before that, I had a Helix 7, which I actually really liked. The interface was good. It worked really well. And then as far as like all the extras, I have a lot of the Hobie stuff on there. I have a lot of camera equipment on there. So I have like a front boom, and I've got some other, battery type stuff that's in there. And then an anchor wizard, I think, is the other thing that's worth mentioning, with a drag chain on the back, because we do a lot of river fishing. And because of the 360 drive, I don't really need an anchor. So I don't really use one. And the anchor dropping from the rear is how I like to fish. It's the most effective way to drift the river for me. And so that's just how I like to do it. And it's been super effective for $150, including the universal mount. It's killer. So, it's my history and setup.
Yeah, Stephen M.
Misery Love Company here.
Look, we're not gonna beat up Lowrance because I've never had an HDS. I had a Hook 2. It was just not
the
for
lower
me.
level is probably all the same.
And it's a split shot. And I had already outgrown it. I felt like I had it dialed. Mine was dialed. I could see fish. It just really wasn't doing it for me. It just wasn't. It wasn't for me.
I never saw a fish on my Lowrance.
I would tell Jeff, I'd say, Jeff, I'm marking fish right now. I'd show him my screen, and he'd see the fish, and then
I'd show him my screen.
His was just like, there's grass probably, and it'd be like, oh, all right.
My Lowrance, we called her Lauren, was the absolute pits. She was the worst. So
it was pretty bad. Ice fishing was horrific.
Yeah.
20-minute delay, like it was awful.
It's another planet. Anyways, if you want to buy my Lowrance, it's on Facebook Marketplace right now.
Yeah, you're really selling it.
It really is. It's a great piece of equipment. Anyways, so my kayak experience, I started with a $100 kayak. It was red, white, and blue, and it was to sit inside. It's a mainstream kayak. I forget what the model number is, but whatever.
USA, I think was what it was.
Yeah, red, white, and blue. So I got that on Facebook Marketplace, of all places. Like I drove to Muskegon to get it in Michigan.
Oh yeah.
And I rocked that for a little bit. I got sick of being sit inside, so I got to sit on top. I bought a Old Town Predator 13-foot edition, not the MX that he had. The 13 was fine. I like the MX better. It's wider. And
11.5 feet. It's a great boat.
Yeah. So the Predator 13 was fine for me. Did a lot of stuff for me. It was a great first sit on top boat. Got used to comfy seats and all that. I also got that one on Facebook Marketplace. It was cool, and I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. So I was the one, as opposed to Paul, who was like one boat and then only upgrade once. I got the mainstream, upgraded to the Old Town Predator, upgraded to the Hobie 180. The 12-foot. I had the 12-foot in dune or sand or whatever that color is, right?
Great color.
And I did that for a whole season, and then I sold that. So like I sold my Predator to upgrade to the Hobie, and then I sold the Hobie to upgrade to the Hobie 360. And then when I got the Hobie 360, we have virtually the same setup, the same Garmin unit, the same rigging for that Garmin unit. We have, the Hobie H crate, the H
rail. Our nets are on the same side. We have the same number of cup holders. Like it's just we fish the same places. We
fish the same way.
We're obsessive about the things that matter. Like my net is on the left-hand side, so I can grab it without changing rod hands. I've got a forward-facing rod holder for unhooking that fish without letting go of the net. I've got the forward-facing rod holder on my right hip, not on the outside, because I don't want it to get caught on a branch if it's sitting there. Like we obsess over that kind of stuff, and it's led to a lot of similar conclusions where we use things the same way. We have the same amount of gear almost at all times, and it's kind of like a natural evolution. We fish the same places in the same frequencies, doing the same types of things, and we might have different rods in the boat, but the concept of how we attack water is pretty similar. So it ends up like we used to have some different things, and then we'd be like, well, why are you doing that? And I'd be like, well, I do it because of this. You'd be like, duh. And then you'd switch that. And like the anchor wizard was like the most obvious one. I mean, I used to use, without the wizard, I should do it by hand. and drop it out. I made like a custom route for my line to drop it out the back of my boat. And I was like, look at this shit. It was like, it turned into like, well, I have to have that on the next boat. And it just, it's again, natural conclusions.
The wheels is another great example. So I got our wheels from Boondocks. Yeah. So Boondocks landing gear. I got that on my 12-foot Hobie. And then when he got his Hobie, it was like, hey, this is the only choice. So then, you know, you get that. So, and then at that point they had upgraded to the HD hardware, whatever. So the Boondocks landing gear HD hardware is fantastic. And we've been rocking that for a while. So yeah, we have virtually the same setup. So yeah, we're both Hobie 360s, same rigging, everything we mentioned. And we've done quite a few videos on the full walkthrough. So if anybody wants to see them, you can see them on the channel too.
I was checking them out. Looked like they look good. Is there are you able to give who you're hoping to work for, or we're gonna leave that little silent in the background?
That's gonna stay silent.
No idea.
That's cool.
It's very much TBD. But there are a lot of companies out there that make really great boats. It would be, I'll say this, it'd be really hard to walk away, even for money. Hobie 360, and that's really the problem. Is like
the convenience is too good.
It's convenience. Like I like the word, but the utility, right? It becomes such a crutch is also not. It's such an advantage. It's such an advantage. It really. I mean, there are so few situations, and I was in for 2 days. I fished for 2.5 days out of an Old Town, the 10.5 foot. The PDL Sportsman, the new one, and it was faster. It's definitely a little bit faster, 20% faster, maybe. It's a smaller boat, but still, it was fast, and the motion was totally different, it was okay. Got used to it. Pivoting was horrific. Turning radius horrific. Going in reverse, you could do it, but not for any more than like 2 feet. It's not good, because the water's moving across the rudder the wrong direction. And until the water is moving across the rudder, you can't turn. The Hobie, I turn the knob, I start pedaling, I immediately am pivoting. And I don't mean turning in this freaking giant circle. I mean like my boat, if you're looking, this is the top of my boat, I'm doing this. It's stupid. I mean, it's such a cheat code. And you know, there are a lot of great pedal drives out there. There's some disadvantages to the way the Hobie works, 100%. You're drafting maybe an inch lower when everyone else can just pull their drive out, but it's such an advantage in 95% of situations. It's silly.
Yeah. Oh, Yak Attack? Yes. Well, the boom camera mount that Paul talked about, we use. That's the Panfish Pro. Yeah. The Panfish Pro is great. They also have I think it's called the Boomstick, the 48-inch one, which is great behind you.
I got the Boomstick, and keep an eye on that thing, because I ran that thing really close to a tree once. It snapped it right off.
Yeah, and
GoPro went in the water.
The reason
I've lost plenty of things to trees in the past on the river.
Things that I don't like about the Boomstick, in addition to the length, is just
I wish it bent.
Maybe it has an arm you can attach to it to stabilize, but I'm like, well, that's like an H rail that I've now put like this giant.
I've already mentioned this, but like if you have the 10 or the 11 GoPro, like the stability on that GoPro is so stupid that it doesn't. The shakiness doesn't even show up.
But the Panfish Pro, it's a zero sum. I never have a problem.
It's the better one for sure,
and it swivels, which is really great. So when Jeff and I want to film together, I can swivel that around. With just pick it up, so set it down, and it's like that's it. And it was super. So, we're both in frame.
That'd be the main one. The other one I like is the Yak Attack rod holders, the roto holders. It's like the 2 wheels, right? A little Y shape, and they also make
it's like a Y, and there's a circle, and it kind of rolls, and then whatever you squeeze through. Usually, it's a either a net or an oar.
Net oars. You can lay a rod through it. Like those are great. I have 2 of those.
Their HD plastic universal mounting brackets are legit. I have them on the side of my ice sled, and I put stuff in them all the time. If you're bolting onto something, I use the HD metal one to put my camera on my sit inside kayak, and it is wonderful. And they're like $25. They're really nice.
The Blackpack Pro would be one that I would also like to check out in the future.
Someday.
Customizability, pretty great. I love my Hobie H crate. It doesn't work for any accessories, period, unless they're an H rail accessory and they have to go on top. But like the Black Pack is kind of cool because you can mount a whole bunch of different rod holders to the side of it. So I could actually have all my rods standing instead of just 4 of them, which is what you're limited to with the H crate. So the H crate's it's perfect for the Hobie. I really like it. A lot of great features. Price wise, it's at the same point as the Black Pack. But the Black Pack Pro to me is just obviously more customizable because Yak Attack makes so many more parts, so many more things that you could attach to it. So
yeah, if you're not in a Hobie, it's the way to go.
Yeah, 100%.
I have yet to get my hands on a Black Pack, even though everybody I watch and see has one.
Like $160, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
150, 180, yeah, between Pen 2. But
yeah,
I love the Pro Megas rod holders. I don't know why. I'm a huge fan. Even though I had someone stole one. I don't know where. I don't know when. But they took the bracket off too. Like they had to know what they were doing.
Huh.
And that thing is with me, and I have my eyes on it all the time.
Yeah.
So you would have to know, one, what it is, and two, know they have how to get it out of the T-mount.
Yeah.
So
and you have to be a piece of garbage.
Yes,
and a terrible human. Yeah.
Terrible human.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they just took that because $40, not a big deal. But
yeah,
that's all right. I've thrown rod holders just into the water and like, why did you do that? The salmon trip, the day after, we fished a lake near there, and I was holding a Railblazer rod holder, and then it was just in the water, and I looked at my hand and I was like, why did this happen to me? I was like, what just happened? I mean,
it was Railblazer. I don't know about you guys' opinions on it, but if you're gonna lose any
no, I have two Railblazer attachments. I actually really do. I like the they're super small. So the ones I use I don't use for anything except for my forward facing rod holder. And I actually really like them because they're super low profile and I don't need them to handle any weight whatsoever. They're really out of the way. I wanted like the smallest rod holder I could get away with. That was the smallest one.
I think mine are just Scotty mounts.
Yeah, which are great.
Basically free on Amazon. Those are like the cheapest rod holders.
Yeah, that was the other thing. The Railblazer ones with the Starport, I think they're $15 on Amazon when they're on sale, which is like
that's super.
I don't know, man. Like it's hard to beat. And like I'm a value conscious person, and that again, I don't need it to like. It's holding.
You have a $5,000 kayak.
Yeah. But I don't go ahead and waste money when I don't need to.
Listen, $14 rod holders though.
Save $10. That's $10 towards my 5,000. So there you go.
You know what? Yep. I got you. You do you. All right.
Well, gents, we are way over. This is the longest live show I've done. Well,
we did it.
9. Gotcha. What do you got? What number are you guys on? You're going like.
Told you we win something.
50.
We had 120 something on our last show, and we're on episode 10 or 11 here with this one. So 130 something like that.
130 something.
So many more questions I want to ask you. So we were out of time. So thank you guys for your time. If you have yet to do that, if you have yet to go over to Burley Fishing and hit that subscribe button, guys, if you liked what you heard tonight, they put it out all the time and they're fun. They're hilarious. So check them out. And I will not see everybody next Tuesday. It's kind of an off week and we'll pick it back up in the new year. But have a great Christmas and see you in a couple weeks. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.